Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Eternal Phoenix again, coming at you with a video. So I'm going to do a short breakdown. So I have this book, or this PDF file that I came across. It's called The Lost Books of the Bible, The Great Rejected Text. Okay, and this is the Apocalypse of Thomas. Okay, and normally people are like, oh, apocalypse means ending, when in all factuality, the Greek Latin root word of apocalypse is beginning. So the beginning of Thomas, or the beginning of a different era. Okay. Okay, so chapter 1, it's talking about what he had a vision of for Saul. And do keep in mind that when I do these breakdowns or whatever, that it's strictly my point of view or opinion. This isn't reflect any actual facts or anything like that. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Chapter 1. This begins a letter of the Lord to Thomas. Hear about the kings that must happen in the last times. The world will be shared between kings. After that, when the hour of the end draws near, there will be 7 days of great signs in heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be moved. There will be a famine, war, and earthquakes in various places, snow, ice, and tremendous drought. There will be many open conflicts among the peoples, blasphemy, unrighteousness, envy, evil, laziness, pride, and excess, and everyone will speak in the manner that he wishes. And my priests will fight among themselves and will sacrifice to me with minds of deceit. Because of this, I will not look upon them. The priests will see the people forsaking the house of the Lord and turning to the world. So pretty much they're turning their back on their king. Not like as in Jesus the king, but like a monarchy king. So look up the word Lord, the meaning of it, with the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and put that placement in there instead. They will venture into restricted places in the house of God, and they will claim many things and places for themselves that were lost, and those things and places will become subject to Caesar in the way they were given before as poll taxes in the cities, as it is with gold and silver. So it says they will venture into restricted places in the house of God, aka Atlantis. Respectfully. That's all I'm going to say. And they will claim many things and places for themselves that were lost in those things. So they're pretty much, what I'm getting from that is like they were claiming knowledge that wasn't theirs, per se. They were stealing knowledge and claiming it as their own. What the fuck was that? Doors. Nope. Done. Okay. So they were claiming they were taking credit for other people's work, for the Atlanteans' work and their magic and their knowledge. This is all I'm going to say. Okay. It says will become subject to Caesar. So they invaded Atlantis. Is what I'm getting. The Romans invaded Atlantis, per se, for gold and silver, because like they didn't see materialistic things like the Romans did. Like they actually went. I want to say that Atlantis was on a different planet than what we actually think it initially was. And the chief men of the cities will be condemned, and their possessions will be brought to the treasury of the kings, and it will be filled. Fort Knox. It's an allegory for Fort Knox. Gold bars, gold bullion. There will be disturbances throughout all the people, and there will be death. The house of the Lord, or king, will be forsaken, and their altars will be despised, so that spiders weave their webs on them. The place of holiness will be dishonored and violated, the priesthood contaminated. Distress will increase, and righteousness will be overcome. Happiness will die and gladness will leave. In those days, evil will abound. People will cater to those of status and wealth. Hymns will stop coming from the house of the Lord. Truth will cease. So meaning moral people will start lying and feeding into the greed. It says greed will abound among the priests. No upright man nor an upright priesthood will be found. Crooked politicians. Okay, near the last days, a king will arise. He will be a lover of the law, who will not hold office for long, but he will leave 2 sons. The first is named with the first letter A, as in Arcadius, and the second with the 8th letter as in Hornius. The first will die before the second. After this, 2 princes will arise to oppress the nations. Under their hands a very great famine will occur. Okay, the famine will take place in the right-hand section of the east, and that nation will rise up against another nation and be driven out from their own borders. It goes along with what I said about them blocking out the 4 states region to the rest of the United States. They staged a fake alien invasion in 2017, and a lot of people, I think, are starting to remember. They're just not capable, or they can't acknowledge the video that I'm creating because it's being blocked and they're not seeing it, but they're hearing me energetically. And again, another king will arise. He will be a deceitful man. He will order a golden image of Caesar to be made, set up, and worshipped in the house of God. Martyrdoms will be widespread. The necropolis. Not now, but then. Because the pope that we have now is actually a really good pope. He's a really good man. Benedict was evil. He was a Borgia, but Pope Francis is really good. Is a really good pope. So respectful to him. Then the faith will return to the servants of the Lord. The holiness will greatly increase, but so will distress and pain increase. The mountains will be comforted will comfort them, and will drop down the sweetness of fire from its face, so that the predestined number of the saints may be completed. After a little space of time, a king will arise out of the east. He will be a lover of the law. He will cause all good and necessary things to be in supply within the house of the Lord. He will show mercy to the widows and the needy. He will order what a royal gift to be given to the priest. In his days, the days of the king, there will be abundance of all things. After that, a king will arise, this time in the southern section of the world, and will rule for only a short time. In his days, the economy will bankrupt, treasury will fail. And here's the thing, they didn't tell you. A lot of people didn't realize that we had a coin shortage all year last year. But, I guess that was just a fucking southern thing. Huh. Motherfuckers. The treasury will fail. COVID actually caused the economy, the actual currency to collapse. They just didn't tell anybody. Because it's all on a quantum computer. It's all digitized. And they made it look like they caused COVID, Trump, and collapsed the actual currency, but didn't tell anybody, respectfully, to the United States government. Because of the wages of the Roman soldiers, and he will order the substance of all the older citizens be taken and given to the king so it could be distributed. And he will order the substance of all the older citizens be taken. How about insulin? Sounds pretty legit. Because it says the treasury will fail because of the wages of the Roman soldiers. So the Roman soldiers weren't getting paid enough. And if you pay attention to your history, they were actually taking the currency from the people. Okay, melting it down to create bullets. And then, paying for wars they couldn't afford. And that's how Rome fell. And they did just like our economy did. They fucking paid those stimulus checks to supposedly boost the fucking economy. Nope. Hell no. Because it was all fucking digitized. It's all fucking air. It's all energy. And they're not even saying anything about it. No offense to the U.S. government. Because they're trying to fix it. They're trying to fucking recoup from it. But it's kind of like all downhill from there. No offense. After that, there will be plenty of corn and wine and oil, but a tremendous lack of money, so that it would take the substances of gold and silver to buy corn, and there will be a tremendous hunger. What's going on right now? Food shortage. You know why? Because they fucking, during the COVID, the farmers couldn't afford to supposedly, which no against I'm all for the farmers, okay? Because y'all do a great job, and they have mouths to feed too. But the fact of the matter is, it would cost too much to repackage it and put it in a consumer. It would cost too much for the farmers to repackage it for consuming. So it got a lot of our food supply got fucking wasted. No thank to Trump. But he did that shit on the sly, and like, well, guess what? Thought he wasn't going to get busted, and now he's really going to fucking get busted. Because I knew then. I saw it. I felt it. But let it ride, because you know what? Everything takes a process. Okay? Because they were literally, farmers they were having to get rid of crops because, well, one, it was just sitting there, and they couldn't get any of the fucking big businesses to get the fucking shipped out because of COVID. Tell me, how much sense does it make if for a deadly virus such as COVID, okay, they tell you to stay within 6 feet of each other with a mask, okay, and they constantly tell you to wash your hands. I don't know, there's a movie called 12 Monkeys, and he talks about it, where they're constantly telling you how to wash your hands, and it's like constantly telling you little, little things here and there, and you're just constantly doing it. Okay? It's called mind control. It's slowly mind control. Slowly integrating different shit. Okay? Now, the fact that they did it on the sly like that, but at the same time it was like so sudden that nobody really could fucking notice it. They collapsed the economy and the currency so fast that now they can't. It's snowballed. It's down. It's at the bottom. That's what they're not telling you. They fucking bolted. Like, they bolted on us. The Trump administration bolted and was like, here you go. Here's the shitstorm. And Biden was left with the fucking aftermath of it. Respectfully to our president. Because no president is perfect. No leader is ever perfect. But the fact that he came into this shit show, and it's getting even worse, and he doesn't even know where to start. How about with this child sex trafficking? Let's start with that. Because that's mainly where all the fucking money goes to. No offense to anybody that's actually rich, but some of you motherfuckers are sick as fuck and are hiding underground right now because you're getting caught. Because that's why the economy really actually crashed, technically speaking. And now it's being halted. But it says, and there will be tremendous hunger and death, or in hyperinflation is indicated here. What did they do when they gave us the stimulus checks? They inflated the fucking economy so much that it crashed. At that time, the sea level will rise greatly and communications will be cut off from man to man. An EMF pulse is coming. They're going to knock the grid out, and everybody's going to starve to death. Because, I don't know, because Texas is planning it. Because Texas is actually one of the biggest power grids in the United States because of the fucking, the military. Red River here. And, also, where is it? El Paso? And they're just literally following orders, but I don't think they're going to be following orders too much anymore if that does go into play. But I can't speak for them or our crooked-ass government here in Texas, because they just got God concept. Because they don't fucking care. They disrespect, they're sick, and they're disgusting, and they're degrading. Our great American society. You don't even follow societal American fucking values, asshole. The kings, princes, and the captains of the earth will be nervous, troubled, fearful, and no man will speak freely. Speak. Use your voice. We are fucking Americans and Texans too. I remember Sam Houston. Not really remember, but Sam Houston and fucking James Bowie or Jim Bowie. The history of Texas. Because Texas was great. And the fact that our governor got too fucking greedy and fucking pedophilish for his britches in his little shitty wheelchair. And everybody's so fucking scared to speak up. Why? What are you afraid of? Dying? Pfft, that's easy. I'm tired of being shunned. I'm tired of being drowned out and not listened to. I've been hidden for 10 fucking years because of these motherfuckers. Because I'm actually a U.S. fucking captain in the Navy. SEALs at that. And my name is Captain Hall, USS Liberty, of Fort Sumter, South Carolina. And they've ransomed me. They've raped me over and over and over. They've they've fucking kidnapped, extorted me, made hundreds of millions of dollars off of me over and over and over again by wiping my memory out at Red River. Yep. Fuck y'all. So I'll take my happy ass. Give me liberty or give me death. Abraham Lincoln said that. And that's how I feel. You can give me liberty or you can fucking kill me, but I will not go quietly anymore. I will not lay down and take it anymore. Gray hairs will be seen upon boys, and the young men will not respect or listen to the aged. Imagine that, bitch boys. After that will arise another king, a deceitful man, who will rule for a short time. In his days there will be a manner of evils. There will be genocide of the race of the men living in the east to Babylon. The death of the race of men from the east to the Babylon. The east. The death of the race of men from the east to Babylon. Genocide. Adolf Hitler. Even though he's a shithead, respectful to all the dead, regardless of their wrongdoings. Because people fuck up. He had a good idea, he just went about it the wrong way. Because he saw what he foresaw exactly what was to come right now. They just don't tell you that. Famine and death by the sword will follow from Canaan to Rome. Then all the springs of water and all the wells will dry up, boil over, and be turned into dust and blood. I don't know, how about nuclear power plant spills? That they don't talk about. But you damn sure best believe that, I'm just going to say a president, they had an oil spill, and he was pissed the fuck off because it took them 3 days to try to fix it. He was pissed off because it was 3 days. In our country, it would probably take fucking 3 years before they'd actually realize there was an actual goddamn oil spill somewhere. Much less even give a shit. That says a lot. The heaven will be moved and the stars will fall upon the earth. The sun will be cut in half like the moon, and the moon will not give light. There will be great signs and wonders in those days when Antichrist draws near. These are the signs for those that live on the earth. In those days the pains of great and hard work, like those of a woman in labor, will come upon them. Woe to them that build, because they will not live in their buildings. Woe to them that plow the ground, because they labor for no cause or no results. Woe to them that marry, because they will bring forth sons into the famine. Woe to them that join house to house or field to field, because all things will be consumed with fire, nuclear war. Woe to them that are not introspective, examine themselves and their actions, or take accountability for your shit, while time allows, because after this they will be condemned forever. Woe to them that turn away from the poor when he asks. You will know that I am the Father Most High, and I am the Father of all spirits. As you will see, this is the beginning of the latter age. There are 7 signs of the ending of this world. There will be in an all-earth famine and tremendous disease and sicknesses of vast proportions. Man-made diseases at that. HIV, fear-based disease, quote, not an actual disease, fear-instilled thought or intent that they put and program into your mind, just like COVID. Just like flu, just like this, just like fucking whatever, because it's the truth. Fear-based diseases. Respectfully. Because it's not always It's not always certain people's fault. They get the short end of the stick too. And it's like, well, let it ride because it's already fucking done its course pretty much. All the nations will take captives and men will fall by the edge of the sword. The beginning of the days of judgment will make you wonder greatly. At the third hour, the Jewish day starts around 6 p.m. of the first day, will be a loud and powerful voice in the firmament sky, theater of stars of heaven, and a large cloud of blood will come down out of the north, and loud thunder and powerful lightning will follow the cloud. December, there was a there was like 32 twisters that hit 6 to 7 states. That was Odin. That was the original gods. The gateway was open and it cannot be shut. Ever. Because I am the gateway. And I will not be hit by the second death. So, you deny me, I deny you in front of my Father. And I don't care. You can lock me up, you can shut me out, but you will never, ever, 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 ever bound my mind ever again. And I will make sure that if anybody, I will make sure that they do the same. That they stay away. That your mind, that you're able to think freely. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to think for ourselves, not be mindless zombies. Blood will drain down on all the earth. These are the signs of the first day. There is some dispute as to whether this is a literal Sunday or Monday. It is assumed by the editor that Sunday is the first day. Actually, it's Saturday. Because remember the Sabbath and hold it holy, I think is how it went. But Sabbath was actually Saturday. But they don't tell you that, or you just don't educate yourself, one of the two. And on the second day there will be a loud voice in the firmament of heaven, and the earth will be moved out of its place, and the portals of the eastern part of heaven will be, and a great power will be sent forth as if it were belched by the portals of heaven themselves. And the power will cover all the heaven, and even until evening, and there will be fear and trembling in the world. These are the signs of the second day. In the third day, at about the second hour, so about 2 o'clock, there will be a voice in heaven, and the vast depths of the earth will sound their voices from the four corners of the earth, the four cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. The first heaven will be rolled up like a scroll and will vanish quickly in an instant. Rolled up in a scroll and will vanish quickly in an instant. Smoke and stench of the brimstone in the chasms will darken the day until the 10th hour. Then all men will say, I think the end draws near, that we will die. These are the signs of the third day. And on the fourth day at the first hour, the eastern section of the earth will sound, the abyss will roar, and all the earth be moved by a strong earthquake. Continental drift. Okay. In that day, all the idols of the heathen will fall along with all the buildings on the earth. These are the signs of the fourth day. All the idols of the heathen, so the Vikings, because they called them heathens, the Danes, fell. So Stonehenge and Easter Island and all that, like it used to be more intact. There used to be more to it, but it fell. Greece too. And on the fifth day, at the 6th hour, the thunder will be loud and sudden in the sky, and the stars, powers of light, and the sphere of the sun will be snatched away. And there will be total vast darkness over the world until evening, and the stars will be sent off their course. CERN. In that day, all nations will hate the world, and all men will despise his life on the world. These are the signs of the fifth day. On the 6th day, there will be a sign in heaven. So if you stop and think about it on a timeline specter, okay, it says the 4th day. Well, 1,000 years here was an equivalent to a day in heaven, or in the 5D. So this is a 1,000-year increment. This is all happening. Okay, so 7,000 years. It takes 10,000 years, I think, for us to actually do one, like, half revolution, or around the sun, I believe, and Cryon said that. We haven't even completed a whole around the sun yet. We're almost there, but not quite. It says, on the 6th day there will be signs in heaven. In the 4th hour, the firmament of heaven will be split from east to west. And the angels of the heavens will be looking out on the earth, and they will open the heavens. And all the men will see the host of the angels above the earth looking out of heaven. Then all men will flee. Cthulhu. Cthulhu is not an octopus. Okay, a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's fictional stories portray Cthulhu as this like octopus or whatever, and it's really not. He's really not. Litlu is Lilith, who is his daughter, by the way. That needs to be corrected. But he is just from a different galaxy, different dimension than we are. And our brains only perceive certain things, so I'm guessing that's the way that that he appeared to Lovecraft. Is that was the best way that he could probably, or that his brain was perceiving it at the time whenever he like visually saw it. No. Poor Merlin. He's sick. You sick, Merlin? Come on. Come on. Get up here. Come on. Okay, fine. Just sit there and not. Whatever. Weirdo. I was talking to the cat and renamed him Merlin. Choli was just not fitting for him. All the men will flee to the mountains and hide themselves from the face of the righteous angels, and will say, I wish the earth would open and swallow us. These things will happen like this world has never seen since it was created. Then they will see me coming from above in the light of my Father with the power and honor of the holy angels. At my coming, the fires that border or restrain paradise will be removed, because paradise is encompassed with fire. And this is a perpetual fire that will consume the earth and all the elements of the world. Then they will be clothed and be carried by the hand of the holy angels, as I have told you before. They will be lifted up in the air on a cloud of light, and will go with me into heaven rejoicing. They will continue in the light and honor my Father. There will be gladness abounding with my Father, and before the holy angels. These are the signs of the 6th day. Come on. There will be spirits and souls of all men come out of paradise, and will come up on all the earth, and every one of them will go to his body, and where it is laid up, and every one of them will say, my body lies here. And when the loud voices of those spirits will be heard, like a huge earthquake, there will be a large earthquake all over the world. The mountains will be split in two from above, and the rocks from beneath. Then every spirit will return into his own vessel, and the bodies of the saints who have died, which have fallen asleep, will rise. So, necromancy. Then will their bodies be changed into the image and likeness and honor of the holy angels, and into the power of the image of my holy Father. They will be clothed with garments of life eternal, made from the cloud of light, which has now never been seen in this world, because that cloud came down out of the highest realm of the heaven from the power of my Father. And that cloud will contain the beauty of all the spirits that have believed in me. And then on the 7th day, at the 8th hour, there will be voices in the four corners of the heavens. Which, by the way, if you pay attention to the Bible, okay, there's they say there's 4 different gates, or there's 3 gates at each cardinal direction into heaven. But a lot of people don't address that. So there's 3. I want to say there's 3 gates in each cardinal direction. Okay, and I don't know. I know it's significant. But, because it equals 12, it has to go along with the 12 original, the 12 that seeded Lemurians that seeded the planet. It's a representation of that, because it's also, in numerology, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 is sacred. But 4 is actually the star number. Um, When the 7 days are passed by on the 8th day, and at the 6th hour, there will be a sweet and tender voice in heaven from the east. Then that angel will be revealed, which has power over all the holy angels, and all the angels will go out with him, who is sitting upon a chariot made of the clouds of my holy Father, and they will rejoice, running upon the air beneath the heaven, to deliver the elect that have believed in me. And they will rejoice that the destruction of this world has come. Thomas, you must hear, because I am the Son of God, the Father, and I am the Father of all spirits. You must hear my signs that will come to pass at the end of the world. The end of the world will come, and the world will pass away before my elect depart out of the world. I will tell, or have told you openly, plainly, what will come. So it's been prophesied, and nobody listened. It's been said, this is what's about to happen, but nobody wanted to listen to Jesus the first go around. They just tried to kill him because they didn't understand what he was about. But when these things will come to pass, even the princes of the angels do not know. It is now hidden from their sight as to what day that will come, because they disconnected themselves from spirit because of greed and pride and lust and just horrific things. It's awful. The words of the Savior to Thomas are ended concerning the end of this world. And people were like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Here's the thing. World doesn't necessarily have to mean a planet. It's your world or reality. We are each a reality or a world. We are each a star. Made of light. Lucifer, MorningStar. Light bearer. The beacon. And everybody shunned him. Just like... And here's the thing. I'm going to say it again. Jesus and Lucifer were the same person. It says it in Revelations. It's like they said, plainly in plain sight. But you decided you were always... Who it's like humanity got too big for their fucking britches and was like, oh, well, everything that I say is right and whatever that somebody else says is wrong. In which that's not the case either. It's more of like everybody was right, but it was always about who was more right. And I think Jesus was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. Y'all can come or stay. And then changed his name. Or her. She. It. More like, we would think of it as a transgender, but that's the thing. It's not a physical thing. It's more of a energetic thing, because everything is energy. And a lot of people don't get it. It's like, oh, we have to have a label, a physical label for something, and in all factuality, it should just be as it is. The military says, as you were. So, but I'm just going to end off with that, because I thought it was interesting. And you know, with everything going on in the world right now, it really kind of shed some light on a few things for me. And people don't stop and pay attention because they're so glued to technology, you know, and they get so pissed off and try to shut people up, but yet they put the information out there on the internet. Like, if you don't want people to know it, just don't put it out there, period. Because eventually somebody like me is going to come along and I'm going to fucking reveal everything. And it's going to blow people's minds, whether how small or big it reaches the masses. Because we have been suppressed for too long. And I can't speak for the entire United States, but I can speak for my version of the United States. My reality of the United States. And America is still beautiful to me. It's broken a little bit, but it's still beautiful to me. And I still believe in America. But the thing is other countries are tired of the shit. They're tired of the shit because it's like our government, not all of the people in power, but most of the people in power, like, I don't know, Abbott and Ken Paxton, let the power go to their fucking heads. And they misuse that power. And it's time to rewrite some things before, I mean, like, it's already catastrophic at this point. All the other countries are like, pretty much, no, you can't fucking come here because we don't want your bullshit. That's literally, it's like, oh, the tables have turned. Nobody wants anything to do with our country because of the bullshit. And y'all just like, I sit here and act like y'all are Billy Badass and better than everybody else. And I'm like, y'all are fucking dumb. Because you won't take accountability for the shit that you've done. So they're just like, door shut. Bye. Get the fuck away. And y'all can't blame any other country for doing that. Because I'm doing it right now. So, stay humble. Rise above the norm. And remember that you are a star. Look to the east, to the morning star for guidance. He's always there.